I've just done the expedition. I'm a little bit behind because I had to take a break for a couple of days. So we are way behind in terms of blueprints. So I'm setting myself a challenge. Find as many unique blueprints as possible using my knowledge of blueprint spawns in a 30-minute window. Let's get into it. We're going to start on Buried City Cold Snap. The reason for this is Cold Snap has a very interesting map-specific or map condition-specific blueprint loophole. In this map, in any container, it can randomly drop any of the high-level attachment blueprints. This includes the level 3 mags, the extended barrel, the lightweight stock, the level 3 muzzle brake and compensator blueprints. These can drop in higher quantities in Cold Snap. It's a special variant of blueprint that drops in 2x events. It also happens in Lockgate as well. Lockgate's not currently in rotation. Now, this is really good because there's quite a large loophole. You've got many different attachments that can spawn in any container whilst in Cold Snap because of this. So what we're going to try and do is find as many, sort of like the highest loot density area possible and try and loot that as quickly as possible. So we've got a Grandioso apartment spawn here. So we're going to go over here. And this is going to give us... Oh, there we go. There's our first blueprint. This is going to give us a really, really sort of powerful advantage when we start off a new expedition because we're about to double dip the two largest loot pools in the game. We're going to go loot residential containers. So the container-specific blueprint loophole here will be attachments, level 2 attachments specifically, right, the green tier. But we're also in Cold Snap, which means we've got the Cold Snap specific blueprint loophole, which is a bunch of the level 3 attachment blueprints. So essentially, when we get a blueprint here, it's highly likely each time we get one, it's going to be something unique because there's just so many different items that it could potentially roll into. There's a player in this building, so I'm thinking we might actually potentially swap to the other building or maybe even go to Main Street here. As we're going here, I'm looking for other random rolls as well. So every container in this game, first what's going to happen, you're going to open it, it's going to randomly generate how many number of items are in that container. And it can usually vary. Like on average, maybe you've got 3 to 4. And then it will generate what those items end up being. You know, for example, film reel, plastic parts, frying pan. And then on top of that, it will do another random generation. It will try to generate, or roll the dice basically. Here's a perfect example. Never will you get 5 items in this drawer unless you roll a lucky item. So what's happened here is we've got 4 items, and then the 5th item is rolled into a lucky item. So 3 separate rolls happen when you open a container. First, it rolls to determine how many items are going to be in the container. And then it rolls what those items will be. And then it does a final roll to determine if that drawer will have a lucky item. And in that case, it was a key. But it can actually be... Oh, hang on. It can actually be a weapon or a blueprint as well. So you can kind of use that as a bit of a way to know if a container is going to drop a blueprint or a special item. What I'm trying to do, actually, is find a... I think that other guy came through here, actually. Find a weapon to defend ourselves with before we go to the Main Street area, because there are pops down there. So 3 items in here, likely not to be anything special. 4 items, this could be something, but it might have just randomly rolled into 4 traditional items. Yeah, it did. So that time, that rolled as 4 items in that container. So nothing special. We've got a zip line there, which is kind of nice, because what it means is come along here. Actually, I think the zip line is going to work. If I get the right angle here. Okay, hang on. There we go. And I've got to jump off and then spam. There we go. So we're going to come along here. I'm going to go to this Main Street building. It's a really nice breachable room that has a large number of containers in a single room. So super, super nice way to hit as many containers as possible here. If we drop down and just spam jump on this car, we can break our fall there. I'm going to run ahead of this guy. Yeah, man, of course. It's a bit like supermarket sweep in this. You just got to get there before anyone else. The breachable room there on that side, it's already been opened. Okay. I'm going to assume everything would have been looted in here already. Okay, no problem. We can do the same on this car. Oh, we missed it. No, we didn't. We got it. Okay, so another building worth looting is up here. I'm going to guess it's probably been looted already, though. If other people have gone for that one, but I'll check it anyway. The goal really is just to hit as many containers as possible in as short time as possible. Obviously, starting with Buried City, but we're not going to end there. We'll go to a different map. I didn't want to start with Stella Montis because it's a really great map for blueprints, but we've always seen it a million times in videos. The blueprint loot routes, aren't we? So, right, mantle this one. Let's see if it's been looted. It has. Okay. All right, so what we're going to do then is just surrender. We got one blueprint in our safe pocket. It's already been looted. Why continue? The whole map has already been looted. I think with every single map, or every single run I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to try and do a different map or different map condition to explain the loot route and loophole. So we learned one here. Let's see what else we've got. The Hurricane. Okay, let's do Stella Montis then. We will do a Stella Montis run. Stella Montis is still one of the best maps, or it is the best map for blueprints. You can hit up pretty much every container type you need in a really short area. So you're hitting up the container blueprint loopholes. For example, if you go into lobby, you're going to be able to find augment blueprint containers. You're going to be able to find residential blueprint containers where you get attachment blueprints. If you go to loading bay, you've got yourself industrial style blueprint containers. If you go, which is grenades and explosives. If you go to medical, you've got medical blueprint containers. So that's going to be augments again, and also fighter spray, fighter shot, defib. Basically every blueprint container possible in as small of an area. We've got a start of a raid. What we're going to do is come along this way then, because this is a really good lobby spawn. Not the best lobby spawn, but we'll make do. We're going to come up here, and we're going to take the zip up, and then we're going to try and rush into the augment room. There's also another thing that's really good about Stella is just a really high number of Raider-style containers. So you're going to be able to get those Venators, Anvils, you know, weapon parts, blueprints super early on. For example, the Raider backpack. Whoa, there's a turret there. Okay, we did not see that. Never mind. All right, we're going to have to try and find a gun and deal with that. Ooh, that's eating into my health. Luckily, there's a bunch of weapon cases in here. Yeah, the number of Raider-style containers in this place is absolutely crazy. By default, these containers are going to have 2 to 3 items, like you can see here. So if there's a 4th item, it's probably going to be a blueprint. Oh, we've got somebody trying to shoot me. Okay, that's fun. Interesting. No weapon case there. He's going to have to come down here to get me. I'm just going to keep looting. So that's 3 items. Probably not a blueprint in there, but there could be. I'll be able to jump through now, so I need to be quick here. Yep. Oh, there we go. Nice. All right. Well, there's a guy trying to kill me. So obviously, that's an augment style blueprint. Don't kill me, man! Please, don't do it! Let's see if we can get lucky. 3 items in here. Unlikely to be a blueprint. 3 items, unlikely, but possible. That box there is most often going to have 3 items generated, but sometimes it can have 2. So if there's a blueprint, you know, most likely you're going to see 4 items because the blueprint spawns outside of the generation. Now, there could be a blueprint in here. It's a key. So another thing that a lot of people kind of don't realize is when you get that lucky item, right, that container there usually has 3 items in it, sometimes 2. If it has a 4th item, or a 3rd item, in the case where it only generates 2 traditional items, it could be a blueprint, but it could also be a key or a weapon. Now, these containers drop between 3 and 4 items on average. Usually it's 3, but there's a chance for 4. So once again, in this case, if you see a 4th item, it's likely to be a key, a weapon, or a blueprint. However, not always. This guy kills me, it is what it is. Right, a Raider-style container here, so there could be a weapon blueprint in here, or a weapon parts blueprint. A tortellini. I think we're probably just going to leave, considering our health situation. I don't really want that guy to kill me. But we're going to try and make our way to Business Center. Because there's a lot more Raider style containers there. And also a lot of residential style containers. Suitcase is a really good residential style container. Where we'll get a attachment blueprints in there. One thing to note is, because you're in Stella Montis, you're also getting the map condition. Hello, I'm friendly. I'm very friendly. This guy wants to kill me. I don't really care. Watch out, Mario. Watch out, Mario. There's a guy trying to kill us. Don't open that door, Mario. Don't do it. There's a guy in there trying to shoot. I would have got one blueprint on me anyway. Let's see what we can do here, though. It's all been looted. I think we just quit. I kind of want to see if we can hit up Atrium first. The residential style containers. This one hasn't been looted yet. 3 items, unlikely to be a blueprint, but I'll check just in case. Okay. So what I was saying is Stella Montis has map condition specific blueprints like Cold Snap as well. In Stella Montis, it has a lot of has the Deadline, the Trailblazer, the Pulse Mine, and the Explosive Mine. The Gas Mine. Those are unique. And the Trailblazer. Those are unique to Stella Montis. And when you open any container of Stella Montis, you could get one of those. Oh, and the Aphelion as well. Yeah, so just looting any container besides these Raider containers, by the way, you could have a chance at one of those just mentioned blueprints, which is really crazy. And once again, you're basically... Oh, there could be a blueprint in here. Usually this has 3 items. There you go. So on average, this usually has 3 items in that container. So if you see a 4th, there's a pretty good chance it's going to be a lucky item, right? We just saw. We've got a Trailblazer blueprint. There's a lot of people killing each other, though, outside. So I think we need a dip after this because I've only got 1 safe pocket. Makes it a little bit dangerous. I think we can go to the Seed Vault Extract. Yeah, this map is just absolutely busted for blueprints because you are essentially able to... oh, could be a weapon, could be a key. Another blueprint. It's a... Unfortunately, we just got that one. Hello! Okay, well, rip. Yeah, there's a lot of people going around killing each other for some reason. Interesting. Alright, we got 1 blueprint out of that then, instead of 2. I think what we're going to need to do here is probably just quit as soon as we find a blueprint. Trying to do this is speedrun it. That's why we're doing it on an empty loadout. So we did just lose a blueprint, but it was a Trailblazer. Not a big deal. Okay, we did Stella. We did Cold Snap. Let's do a Hurricane then. All right. Right, Hurricanes. I don't know about the actual container-specific blueprint loot pool yet. Like, if you go and loot normal containers, I haven't had enough time to really practice or get research on it, rather. But the actual outside containers still do drop blueprints. They nerfed them recently, but the Hurricane containers still could have good blueprints. So it's worth checking. I'm going to see how many we can hit up. Hopefully we don't come across any arc outside. So we got the start of a raid. There could be quite a few of these containers here. What I like to do is check these spots down here. It's very loud for real. Gonna come along this way, see what we can find. Okay. Actually, I want to go this way. That's right. A little bit lost there. Oh, here we go. My first one. Oh, I ran past it, actually. Up here? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Let's search this one. Yeah, so the blueprints have been nerfed in this event, but you can still get blueprints, so worth checking. See what we can get here. 3 Vita shots is still crazy to me, man. Alright, well, let's go. Towards this way, trying to find some more. We did, find a Barletta 2, so we can defend ourselves a little bit here. Which is always nice. There could be one on the other side of this barren. Sometimes it's so hard to hear them. I do hear one though, yeah. Right here. Alright. Hasn't been looted yet. Let's see what we can get. Oh, there's a comet. That's going to be fun. Okay, volcano. Alright, let's just quit. May as well. We're not going to survive out here. Let's go. Bam! And we're going to just completely keep doing this until the 30 minutes are up. We're going to see how many blueprints we can get. So obviously, Hurricane is still good for the Volcano, Bobcat, Tempest blueprints. You can also get weapon parts blueprints and the traditional blueprints in there as well. Let us do a... let's do another Berry City Cold Snap because a lot of the containers are already looted there. Alright, hopefully we get the start of a raid here, or at least somewhere where we can hit up a bunch of containers. One of the greatest things about Cold Snap is you just can loot anything and you could get a good blueprint. So this is not the start of a raid. I'm not too concerned. We got our Busto Tower. We're going to check that quickly. Just because it's a spot that a lot of people just look over for some reason, even to this day. So there could be a chance it hasn't been looted. So we'll have a look. But realistically, we want to hit up the places that have the highest container density, which is just going to be space travel research and this area of the map. Grandioso is great, Grandioso Apartments, but I do just feel a bit tired going up and down the stairs. Oh, we got a normal cache here. These can also have Raider-style blueprints in, so they are worth checking if you hear one, although I don't think it's... Oh, there we go. Toro. Oh, brilliant. Yeah. I don't think this is worth going around, trying to go around the map, trying to loot these, because they spawn less often than in a typical Uncover Caches event. And also, you're in the cold. It just makes it slower. But case in point, it's still a Raider-style container, so it still has the same Raider-style blueprints, which can include the Toro, the Venator, the... I just learned and consumed that by accident. Wow. Toronte, Osprey, gun parts blueprints. So, pretty cool. I'm going to jump into another game. So, we've already seen quite a few blueprints, and we've had one duplicate. That was unfortunate. We missed one because we died, which is the Trailblazer. But the goal is, if you want to find as many blueprints as possible in a short time, you just double dip the loopholes. So, you choose a map condition that has a large number of blueprints, and you loot containers that has a large number of blueprints. And chances are you're going to find a wide variety of things. Fresh raid here, so we can go help Grandioso. We're going to go and do that right now. It's quite a shame this spawn, actually, because you are kind of behind everything. Like, other people can spawn right here. But we'll go hit it up anyway. I think Main Street Breachable Room is better, but... I mean, let's see what this guy goes into. If he goes in... Okay. This guy's going straight into Grandioso, so I'm going to run ahead of him and go to Main Street instead. And then try and hit up this building here, which we couldn't do last time because somebody ran ahead of me, basically. They got a better spawn. But the guy that spawned there went to Grandioso. So, I mean, we should go to where he probably should have gone. Better spot. Less containers in the building overall than Grandioso, of course, but it's really high loot density. So one single room, you can hit up like 15 containers, 12, 15 containers. Is great. So we're going to go up here. Sometimes there's fireballs and pops up here, so usually I like to come in prepared, but not this time, luckily. So we're going to open this room. One of my favorite rooms in the game, honestly, just because it's such a high density of containers. And we'll get to looting again. Yes, we will. And I'll show you where I would go after this as well. So no blueprint in here, unlikely anyway. What we got? We got 4 items. Could be a blueprint. Maybe. Yeah, it is. It says Silencer 2. I already unlocked that, but we haven't got it in this video. Could be a blueprint. Let's see. No. So, like I say, on average, residential containers could have 2 to 4 items. Usually it's 3. Sometimes, rarely it's 4. Sometimes, rarely it's 2. And then a Raider-style container here. There's a random number of items in here. Sometimes you can get like 8 items in a raider backpack. So didn't get as many containers in here as I was hoping, but it's okay. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, there we go. Vertical grip 2. Another blueprint. That one took me ages to learn on my first playthrough. What we can do is jump here and then hit this car. There we go. Then what we want to do is come around this way. Come up through here. And that could be a blueprint. A couple containers in here, rather. We want to do... There we go. A couple here. 3 items. Probably not a blueprint. What we got? 2 items. Okay. So what we've got so far is 2 low-level attachments. 2 level 2 attachment blueprints, which are the traditional residential style container loophole. We didn't get the cold snap loophole drop in there. It's just based on luck, really, what you end up getting. But those blueprints could have ended up rolling into, like, a level 3 mag. Okay, well, that was stupid. Let's try that again. I was kind of running out of stamina there. Oh, we're going again. And then I probably think we're just going to leave, to be honest. See if we can get in here. Okay. Yeah, a bunch of containers here haven't been looted. Alright, 3 items. Probably not a blueprint. Should take that heal, actually. So as you can see, why I say probably not a blueprint, and not definitely not. Sometimes these drawers only generate 2 items. So in that case, if it generates 2 items, and then also generates a lucky item on top, oh, you could still get a blueprint, even though it's only 3 items, right? In total. Right, could be a blueprint in here. There it is. Another silencer 2. Okay. Right, let's see. No blueprint in there. I have space already. Alright. Let's see. Another race style container. Could get a blueprint. Nope. Okay. Maybe a blueprint in here. Nope. Okay, maybe a blueprint in here. Probably not. Probably not. Okay, right. I think we need to go. We have 2 new blueprints on this. Oh no, we got 2 silencer 2s. Oh no. Well, that's fun. We kind of got screwed over. It's quite funny. Once you've unlocked all of the level 2 blueprints, so, you know, silencer 2, medium mag 2, light mag 2, etc., etc., if you keep looting residential containers, you're just going to keep finding them again. So it almost makes sense to avoid the residential containers at that point. Play Cold Snap and go and loot weird things like cars or breachable mechanical boxes and things that traditionally have a very low blueprint loophole. Is that way... Hello. Hello, hello. You're going to more likely come out with... when you roll a blueprint, it's more likely to be a level 3 mag than it is a level 2 mag, right? This time, we opened a bunch of residential containers, and they rolled into residential loophole. It didn't roll into the cold snap loophole, which would have been like an extended barrel, level 3 mag, compensator 3, etc. Just but down to luck. I don't know what the blueprint drop rates are. I'm sure it's different. For example, you might, let's say, when you roll a blueprint, maybe... This is an example. It's a 30% chance of a silencer 2 and a 5% chance of a compensator 3. You know? Maybe it works like that. We don't really know. But either way, we shall dip. And we have 6 minutes left. So, you know, not a bad run at all. It's a shame about the duplicates. But we've certainly found a decent number of blueprints. I think we end with another Stella Montis run. Stella Montis is my favorite map for blueprints. I just think that it's... we've all seen it a million times, so I try to mix it up. Probably would have gotten more blueprints if I had stuck to doing only Stella, to be honest. Right? But hey, we'll do it. So far... We found these blueprints. We also found the ones that we learned. I forgot about that. Yeah, not bad at all. Now, I think what's really interesting about this, though, is this is just a live 30-minute run. I could have pulled out, like, the best run I got, right? It's all down to luck and RNG. But this is just a random 30-minute run. So if you do the same, you're going to have similar results. You might get a little bit luckier, you might get a little bit unluckier, but overall, you're definitely going to find a bunch. So we are currently now in a medical area. So what we're going to go and do is hit up medical-style containers now. It's really quite interesting because we could potentially get the defib, Vita spray, Vita shot. My honest opinion, though, once you've got the defib, I would stop focusing on medical-style blueprints for your blueprint loot routes because more likely than not, you're just going to get the defib again and again and again. It drops far more commonly. And what's really interesting is the Vita spray can now be unlocked from one of the new quests. Hello. So you don't even need to worry about trying to find the Vita spray. It's only the Vita shot, which you might get lucky and just find it from a trial, to be honest. Alright, we've got fireball here. More medical style containers downstairs. Okay. Interestingly, this is a trial right now to loot medical style containers, so we might get unlucky with people contesting the spot. We've got 3 augment style containers here, and you can get augment blueprints from here. Also, augment blueprints can also spawn in medical containers as well, although it's not as high chance. More likely to get a defib blueprint. But it's possible. It's certainly possible. They do drop. Okay, not many containers down this side. There's one there. Okay, that guy's already been through that spot. We're going to leave now, and I think it's time we go and hit up Loading Bay. What I really like about Loading Bay is it's in a lot of industrial-style containers. But there aren't many industrial-style blueprints. It's Shockwave, Explosive Mine, Trigger Nade, and Blaze Nade. So what that means is you've only got 4 blueprints that can spawn. You also got the Stella Montis blueprints. So there's going to be a blueprint here. There we go. You're more likely to get the Stella Montis blueprint loophole from industrial style containers like this because the traditional loophole for this container type, or the container loophole, is quite small. So when it rolls a blueprint... Ooh. So you saw there, that was the lucky item, right? The 4th item in the draw was a luck item, but it was a key. It was not a blueprint. There's just so many of these containers, though. Like I say, when you roll a blueprint... Here we go, this could be one. And it is not. Okay. We got another one here. So if there's 3 items here, very high chance it's probably not a blueprint. 4 items, pretty high chance as a blueprint or a key or weapon. But not always. Not always. Okay, this is a Raider backpack. 6 durable cloth is pretty nice. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. We're gonna come across the other side. The breach room there is filled with industrial style containers. Although each locker in there has quite a large number of items. So honestly, it's quite... what do I say? It takes a long time to loot them because there's so many items per container. But it is what it is. Someone's killing a bastion. Hold up. Okay. These haven't been looted yet. Ba-ba-bum. See if we can get another blueprint. Here we go. This could be one. No, it's a hairpin. So that was a lucky item there, right? It could be a key, a blueprint, or a weapon. And we got a weapon. And yes, stupidly as it sounds, the hairpin is a lucky item. Most of the time, you only get really bad weapons when it rolls into a weapon. Fun fact, if you play Locked Gate, when it does roll into a weapon, when you loot a container, it's usually an epic tier weapon, which is pretty awesome. Breachable box, this is an industrial style container as well, so it can have the same industrial style blueprints as the container blueprint loophole. It's not really... Alright, how long have we got? Alright, we're basically up for time, but let's see how far we can take this run. Somebody just died, oh no. Somebody's hit that up, somebody's hit all those up. Did they do the breach room? They haven't done the breach room. So we're going to do the breach room. The red lockers in most areas in Arc Raiders are industrial style containers, but not always. If you, for example, loot red lockers in like a key room, it might have a different loophole, but usually they are classed as industrial style containers. So this could be a really good type of container to loot in Cold Snap, because it has a really small blueprint loophole, right? 4 items in here is very normal. Even 5 items in here is very normal, so I'm not expecting a blueprint or anything in here. This is just a normal range of items for this container type. And this is an augment style container in here as well, so you could get an augment blueprint from there. 5 items again, nothing too exciting. Really, we're looking for a 6 item in these containers, which is pretty crazy. The residential style, take that. Ooh, could be something in here. Usually this is 3 to 4 items. Oh, there we go. Another lucky item. It was a Stitcher that time. You can start to see the patterns here. 4 items, nothing special for this container type. And then just normal industrial. We could do a quick run through Atrium then. Maybe we can hit up some what do you want to call it? Residential style containers before we leave. It looks like it's all been looted up. Trash cans, have they been looted? Yes, okay. What about this room in here? Has it been looted? It has. I only found 1 blueprint. I think we call it that. Somebody died in here. Everyone's fighting over mushrooms again, man. It's crazy. Hold up. Let's see what we can do here. I'm wondering if the business center's been fully looted. Usually people don't grab all the suitcases because there's a lot of arc running around. Let's have a quick look and then we'll dip out. 32 minutes. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. What do we got? Oh! The augment containers in here haven't been looted. Okay. Let's see. 2 items per container there. That was weird. Does happen sometimes. Okay, what we got? Oh, I don't think anyone's looted here. Look, a Raider style grenade box. Hasn't been looted. Nothing in there. Okay. I don't think anyone's been in here because of the shredder. Yeah, nothing's been looted. Bunch of residential. Oh, this could be something. There we go. There we go. So you can start to see the patterns, right? On average, most of the time, residential style containers have 3 items per container. Sometimes it can be 2. Sometimes it can be 4. Most of the time. Probably like 80% chance it's going to roll into 3. Let's get out of here. Yeah. Let's go. Alright, so hopefully this helped you to learn about how different map conditions can affect the blueprint loophole and what to target to get as many blueprints as possible. Basically, just get for the highest density of containers as you can. In, you know, an area, usually Stella Montis, a buried city, and try and play on a favorable map condition. Let's sell that, and well, these are all the blueprints we got. Not a bad haul. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.